So the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra have been announced. The pre-orders are up, or depending on when you're watching this, you can order them straight up. But the point is this. This video is really about explaining to everyone the caveats of the Note 20. Now, I don't care if you buy it. This is not about making you want to buy or not want to buy the phone. I don't really care. But I do want to point out some things that maybe have slipped by the radar. A lot of people maybe don't realize some of the things about the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra when they buy it. And when they get it, they would be disappointed. So I just want to make sure it's clear what you are getting. I've done these videos before, and I think some people misunderstand the point of them. I'm not here to convince you to not buy the phone. Let's be really clear about that. Everyone here that's watching with a rational ear and rational eye will be able to tell that that's the case. But I want you to go down to the comment section and watch all the people that'll come in and will say some of the weirdest things you've ever seen when I'm just trying to save them some money. The Galaxy Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra are amazing phones, but there's some things you should know about it. So before you buy it, let's get into it. I'll tell you all about it right after this.
This is, you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back. And for all you new people, welcome. My name's Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. If that sounds like fun to you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Anything I talk about will be in the description below. But for now, let's just get into the video. Now, as a Galaxy Note lover myself, or at least from Galaxy Note 2 to Galaxy Note 10, I've held every single one of them. I've owned every single one of them, including what my favorite one was, which was the Galaxy Note 7. Rest in peace to that one. But this is the first year that I'm actually skipping the Galaxy Note series of phones. And based on my last video, the comment section in there, bruh, a lot of you are skipping it too. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link in the description and a link in the end screen, because here's the thing. A lot of people who left comments in that poll that I did, whether or not people are gonna buy it, like over 87% of you are not buying the Ultra anytime soon. Maybe you're making the right choice, because every year up until this year, every single spec on a Note phone was better than the previous S series of phones. And this year is actually the exception. Now, the performance of them might still be better than the S series, but this is literally like the first year where the Note has some inferior specs to the S series of phones. Inferior. And again, I don't care if you buy the phone or not. I'm not trying to keep you from buying the phone. As a matter of fact, I'll probably put a link in the description below if you want to go buy it. I don't care. But you should at least know these things, because some of them are in really small print in different parts of Samsung's website, and I thought I would want to point them out to you just in case. So let's start with the things that they both share with each other. They both have a 10 megapixel front-facing camera, which at first might not sound bad until you realize the S20 Ultra's front-facing camera was a lot more. The S20 Ultra's front-facing camera was 40 megapixels. Now, before you freak out, this isn't really gonna matter that much. The front-facing camera on the Ultra, or even the regular Galaxy Note 20, is going to be fine. But it is weird that they had to bring the megapixels down. Again, the end result of what that looks like is probably not that big of a deal, but when you go to the Note, you just expect everything to be better. And this is just one of those things that isn't. They both have a 12 megapixel wide camera. One of the cool things they showed was the ability to do wireless DeX to your television. But what they didn't mention is your television has to support Miracast. Now, a lot of newer smart televisions do, but they never really mentioned it. It just made it seem like you could literally just send your images to your television. This is not exactly a hard thing to overcome. It's pretty easy to fix with different streamers and stuff. So I'm not gonna make a big deal about that. However, one thing that some of the people overseas definitely already know the pain of is the Exynos processor. Now, people in North America won't have to worry about this, but people overseas already know, and I've seen it in my comment sections already. Don't buy the Note if you're overseas. The Exynos processor is not only a little bit slower, but sometimes not even good with the battery. I've actually done a video about this kind of processor issue and the fact that Samsung's gonna go with AMD here soon, hopefully, to alleviate this issue. I don't know why they do this. They split the processors up between certain countries and other countries, where we get the Snapdragon 865 Plus, which is awesome, and everyone else gets the Exynos, which is not awesome. So for people overseas, this right here alone is a deal breaker. A lot of people are gonna look at this and go, nope, I'm out, I'm not into it. Doesn't matter what else it does, I'm out. And I really don't blame you. Let's do some comparisons between the Galaxy Note 20s and, of course, the S20 Ultra. First of all, the S20 Ultra actually has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and you would expect the Notes to have more, and they don't, ladies and gentlemen, they don't. 4,300 milliamp hours for the regular Note 20, and the Note 20 Ultra gets 4,500. Now, could it be that the processor is a little bit more efficient with less battery? I mean, maybe, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that. The S20 Ultra has 45-watt super fast charging, and the Notes don't. This one kind of confuses me. Why did they go backwards on the fast charging? I can't quite understand this one. Again, another thing that the Notes have always had is either at the very least the same, if not better specs. So again, we have something that's lesser. This is already concerning to me. The Note's supposed to be the superior phone of the year, and from a purely statistical standpoint, it just simply is not. But there's other things. Let's just talk about the regular Note 20, the one that's $1,000 here in America, and see if it's worth $1,000. Number one, the Galaxy Note 20 is made of plastic. And I know that some of you don't care, but a lot of people will. I can't remember the last time, or if at all, a plastic phone has been sold for $1,000. A plastic phone, $1,000. And something I know you guys are gonna want to know about is the fact that it only has 8 gigs of RAM. And even worse, no 120 hertz display. That's right. If you got used to it on the S20 line of phones, or maybe you've been holding out because you've wanted that and you figured you'd get the less expensive Note, well, don't expect no 120 hertz. You ain't getting none. Nah, bro, not happening. And it's a 1080p screen. Well, slightly better, 2400 by 1080. So it's not even like the Quad HD display. I mean, the Note 20 is just gimped. This happened last year with the Galaxy Note 10, the smaller version. Really, we just told people to skip that one altogether. There were so many compromises, and as you can see, we're here again with more compromises. But then it gets weird. You just figure the Ultra would be better. And in some instances it is. And in some we're back to Weird Town. For some reason, the Ultra has the 108 megapixel wide camera, but the telephoto camera is 64 megapixels on the Galaxy Note and only 12 on the Ultra. Now, I looked at this spec and thought that this was backwards or something on Samsung's own site. Like, there's no way this can be right. Like, it's so drastically different. Couldn't be right, could it? 30x zoom on the Galaxy Note 20, and of course 50 times on the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. That has to do more with the megapixel of the telephoto zoom lens, I believe. Let's be honest here. You're not going to use 40 or 50 times X besides the 1 or 2 times you creeping on your neighbor. You might have seen someone talk about the 1500 nits of brightness on the display. Now, Mr. Who's the Boss actually showed this in his video. I suggest you watch that video, but it's only on the Ultra. Again, if you're on the 20, you ain't getting it. Of course, 12 gigs of RAM on the Ultra, like I said before, 8 on the 20. Not that that should matter. I've talked about how much RAM a phone should have. I don't see the point beyond 8, but here's the thing. You think you're gonna get it, and you ain't getting it. You ain't getting 120, you ain't getting a glass back, you ain't getting a Quad HD display, you ain't getting a lot. It seems to me there's a tremendous amount of compromise. Now, some of this may, and I don't know this for sure, may be in response to the poor S20 sales at the very beginning of the year, especially with the pandemic going on. So who's to say that maybe somewhere along the way they tried to cut some costs to bring the price down? We thought at one point that the Galaxy Note would be upwards of $1,500, and if you looked at the price of the S20 Ultra, that made sense because not only were the Galaxy Note series of phones always better, they always were more expensive as well. So it would have made sense for them to be more expensive, but for now, they're actually, at least the Ultra, is less expensive than the S20 Ultra. Yeah, I mean, this is just a very strange year. What I hope they're doing is preparing themselves either for a less expensive Note or what would be my really amazing dream, combining the Note and the Fold into the new Note, a folding Note. Now, we know the type of person that really wants one of these phones is someone who's into business or production or something, a creator of some sort. And listen, they even made it a really cool point to show that you can stream your Xbox to it, which is awesome, but I don't imagine that's not going to be the case across other Samsung phones. You see, this happens a lot where they bring out features on the new phone and then actually put them in updates on the older one. We saw this last year where some of the camera tricks that were on the S20 are now on the S10. You got to see that on the last year's phones. But there's one other really big reason why, at the very least, you should not buy this right out of the box. The reason why you should not buy it as soon as it's pre-ordered is because, and I said this last year, and I was right last year, the price is going to drop quick. They always do on Samsung phones. There's always a sale right around the corner. I mean, I literally said that it would happen within the first couple of months of it coming out, and very shortly after that, the price dropped. Well, there was a sale, but there's always a sale. There's always a sale. Literally, if you can wait just about a month and a half after the release of this phone, you will get a great deal for it. Now, to be clear, as of right now, there are some pretty decent trade-ins that you can get for the Galaxy Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. There's some great deals you can get on the Samsung website if you want to. But if you just wait, it's just going to be a better deal. And I feel kind of bad because Samsung's been doing this for years where they'll release something at a full price. Maybe they'll give you a good trade-in deal. Maybe they won't. Maybe you don't have anything to trade in. And then just a couple months later, they'll cut off like $300 off the price of the phone. And you're the sucker holding the bag because you couldn't wait. Again, this is not exactly a very exciting phone. It's just more of the same, which is one of the reasons why myself and a lot of people in the comments from my last video are giving this a pass. But what about you? Are you excited to get the Galaxy Note 20 or Note 20 Ultra? Leave a comment below. We'll take a look at it. By the way, there's still some other things to come about this. I need to talk about the phone that is finally bringing me back to Android, the one phone that has been able to do it. I can't wait to talk about that. So hit subscribe if you're interested in that. But also, I talked about why so many people are actually not going to buy the Ultra right here. So make sure you check out that video. And then there's some other fun videos here below that I hope you'll check out. I'll see you next time. Peace and love.